I think it's time. So that's it's called Titan, Oceangate. The name of the sub is called Titan or something like that. That's what happened with that. Now, when you're hearing this, there could very well be many more updates.
Right.
Maybe when we record next, we could pop in if there are some new developments and like add on to this episode. But as of right now, it's what it is. That's what we know. They ran out of oxygen. Probably most likely dead.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Lights, camera, action.
UPS, you piece of shit.
I was like, you know what I want to do one day? I want to join a gang.
We're in 2022. Upgrade the cameras. We can see Saturn and shit, but like I can't get a clear picture of someone robbing the gas station.
That was the greatest night in the history of television.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Redband Podcast. I know this week we originally were going to be talking about the Netflix password shit.
Yeah.
But that's going to have to be pushed back, and rightfully so. There's some more pressing shit on the docket. You've been keeping up with the missing submarine?
I have, which is fun. If it was fun when you said that, and I went like, I know about that, you know?
Yeah.
Because I have. I've been captivated.
That's exactly the word. It's kind of like, in some ways, very similar to Apollo 13. That captivated the world when that was happening. Very different times now, though.
Yeah.
I obviously wasn't alive back then when Apollo 13 was happening, but I can imagine it was like you had the situation and the world was uniting, like at the edge of their seats, watching for any update.
Yeah.
And that was it. Now you have the story that the media is putting out.
Yeah.
You have the conspiracy theorists. You have people that make it political.
Right.
You have a group of people who surprisingly are like happy that billionaires are suffering and lost undersea.
Yeah.
So very different times.
I'm interested because I have not heard any of the conspiracy theories. I haven't heard a lick of that.
Well, this is what we're here for.
This is Redband stuff right here.
So, quick overview.
Yeah.
A submarine about the size of a minivan departed on Sunday, I think Sunday morning, with the intent to go down and take a live view exploration, a tour, if you will, of the sunken Titanic ship.
Right.
That was the intent.
About what? About 13,000?
It's 13,000 feet
down?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You ever seen those measurements? Like the videos that go like, this is how deep it actually is.
I actually watched one last night. Yeah. It was like perfect timing. It was after a few TikToks of the submarine came up. And then right after a TikTok that made me shit my pants about how deep the ocean is.
I hate it, man.
It's terrifying.
I've said before that deep space and deep sea, when I think about them too much, give me the most existential panic and crisis.
Yeah.
I'm thinking after this experience, I'm not going through it. I think after this event, deep sea just took the number one spot.
I agree with you.
And for a few reasons. Number one, the pressure at that level.
Yeah.
I've seen is something like 6,000 PSI.
Right.
For comparison, in space, I believe it's 15.
That's wild. What?
Something like that. My numbers are probably off. Don't jump all over me. But yeah.
There's a difference, though, and a pretty drastic one.
Drastic difference between the pressure in space and the pressure at deep sea.
Right.
Number one. Number two, it's far too dark. It's far too fucking dark in the deep sea.
Right.
At least in space, you have the sun.
It's true. Why is that funny? It's just true. But for some reason, that's funny because it's like, at least there's like a big ball of fire.
Yeah.
Like, you know?
Right. So, there's that. There are creatures that we don't even know about down there.
That's it.
And you can't see on top of that. Talk about, what is that? Submechnophobia? No, that's the That's the one about submerged mechanics. What's the
like megalophobia or something like that?
Yeah,
just ginormous
open space
things.
of water.
Yeah,
and
like
beings in
massive structure. I'm not gonna lie, I have like the opposite. I love it.
You do?
Kinda. Not deep ocean.
Yeah.
Fuck that. But like a massive statue. I want to go see one of those. You know, they always have the picture of the massive statue.
Yes.
In like Thailand or some shit. I can't wait till I see that in person. I like that.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
That would be cool. Or like the Burj Khalifa.
Ooh, I would love it.
Yeah.
I would love it. I wouldn't want to be at the tippy top.
No.
But I want to be at the bottom, looking uppy up.
Looking up and just, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Which, again, for comparison, I believe from the top of that to the bottom is still not even as deep in the ocean as those people are.
Right. And then, yes. They are further.
Yeah. It just keeps going. So, yeah, I saw one of those videos.
Probably the same one. We probably, because the Khalifa was on the one I saw.
I think so.
Okay.
And it's like 10 Empire State Buildings.
Yeah.
I don't even know. Something crazy. So, they gave me that made me feel like, okay, deep space or deep sea seems to be a little bit worse on my list than deep space. Also, deep space is like beautiful. If you had to choose to be lost in one of the two, I would pick deep space.
Absolutely.
Over deep sea.
100%. I there's no question about it. I'd rather die in space too. It's just cooler, like objectively. It's so horrific and terrifying in the deep ocean. Like you said, you know, the video I watched talked about like the midnight zone. There's no sunlight that can reach that point.
No. Yeah.
You know, ginormous whatevers, you know, it's just, and then like the pressure component, like, you know, if you are not protected and you're down there, you basically get like crumpled into a ball, like a piece of paper.
Correct.
I'd rather just be like floating and frozen in space, you know. Maybe I'm bleeding out of my eyeballs a little, but like at least I'm a part of the cosmos now.
Yeah.
Not being nibbled on by little fishy fish.
Yeah.
Fucking next to the Earth's core.
Prehistoric beasts potentially down there. The Meg 2 and Jason Statham. So that's what happened. Now the finer details are this submarine was made by a company that, after you hear the details, probably shouldn't be making submarines.
Absolutely not.
They used a combination of materials that are, I guess, in the sub world known that you don't use those materials for certain reasons. And the owner of the company is very proud that he used those materials. And he says in the video, he's like, yeah, I use these materials that they say you can't use, but I used them. And he's proud of it. And now he's probably dead down there because he was with them. The owner, the CEO of the company was down there with, I believe, 2 billionaires, billionaire's son, and one other person.
Yeah, something like that, right? Now, I think for him, see, that's why you got to watch who you're getting into a situation with.
Yeah.
You got to look at you got to think in like the spiritual. You got to go, what's his karma looking like?
Yeah, his karma credit score.
His karma credit score, that's so perfect. You got to think about it. You got to go, is this guy due for a disaster?
Yeah.
Because of who he is.
Right.
And I think he was. On the timeline of the credit karma score, I think he was about due to get his comeuppance.
Yeah. So this guy, the CEO, he went on to say that like he was doing, this was like one of the first few test explorations. All right. And so his whole thing was he was so certain about his product, this submarine, that he would be on every single test exploration. He was like, I'm willing to put my money where my mouth is, and I'm going to go on every single one to prove everyone wrong. You can use these materials. What I've built is safe. The other thing about it is, again, it's the size of a minivan. 5 people in there. Not much room for much else. So there is a window, a small window, that you can see out of. That's that also happens to be where the toilet is. So you're on this ship.
Yeah.
And you're trying to get a beautiful view. The only place to do it is from the shitter.
Right.
Secondly, there's a couple of monitors on the screen to like view stuff because they have cameras on the submarine, so they can also put up on the screen whatever they want to see outside.
Right.
And the whole thing is controlled by a $30 to $40 Logitech gaming controller, which is not new to use a gaming controller to control things.
Right.
But a lot of people are focusing on that aspect as well. And so basically, yeah, they went out to explore. About an hour and 45 minutes into the dive, they lost communication. And I guess the mothership, I don't know what you call it in the submarine world, that like dropped them in, didn't know where they were. An hour and 45 minutes in. This is supposed to be just I've heard a couple different numbers. I've heard it takes 8 hours to get down there. I've heard it takes 2.5.
Wow.
So it was supposed to just be like a quick little go down, that's cool, come back up.
Right.
So the thing departs with 96 hours of oxygen. And again, when you see the photos of it, maybe I'll put some up right here.
Sure.
There's not space for much else. So I can't imagine, even if you have the oxygen, that they have really any food or water or rations. So they've been lost at deep sea since Sunday. And I guess the National Guard and the Navy were trying to find some way to locate them. They were using echolocation, deploying like radar, sonar, whatever, these like buoys that can like try to detect any sort of sound.
Right.
Any sort of sound abnormalities. I'm trying to sound super scientific, I know.
Okay, abnormalities.
Yeah, I do what I can.
Yes, sir.
And so that's basically their plan, because they have no way of knowing where in the fuck. And there's apparently only 3 operational ships that can go to that depth at this point in time, which I find I don't know. I find interesting that in 2023 we only have 3 that can make it to that depth.
Right.
But again, the sea is the least explored area of all time. So I'm not surprised at the same time. As of Thursday morning, June 22nd, according to their calculations, that submarine has run out of oxygen. So in theory, it is pretty safe to say those 5 people are dead.
It's official.
And a lot of people were saying they were dead from the start.
You're right.
Like,
right.
They've, I mean, the people on the news have interviewed like masters. Why can't I think of like the word?
Like the experts.
Experts. Thank you.
I think we should call them masters.
We should call them masters. Masters in these fields.
The masters.
Yeah. And they've all been like, since almost day one, when they first went missing, they were like, yeah, they're done.
Yeah.
they're toast.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Insane.
Yeah. Yeah. It's about official now.
Yeah.
There's no way around it.
And by the time you're hearing this, there could be other updates.
Like they could have found their little bodies.
They could have found the sub. Who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's so. Before we start, there's more details, of course.
Yeah.
But let's get on record and say this is sad. This is not a good thing.
No.
For anyone.
Yeah.
Let this be existential. Let us understand that you should not even wish this death on your worst enemy.
For real.
You think going on a road trip in a cramped car with 5 people is bad.
Yeah.
I mean, this is truly a hell.
Yeah, right.
That you couldn't even imagine, which is why I think it captures us as a nation.
As a nation.
We go, oh my God.
Yeah.
And once again, you got to go, would I rather be in this pod in space?
Right.
Or in the ocean? I'll take space any day.
Any day.
Any fucking day. hurl me towards the sun. That's a great way to go. At least my death meant something.
Mm-hmm.
Put me at the bottom of the ocean with 5 other dickheads, and we're practically sitting on each other.
Right.
The only place I can see a fish is where I go caca.
Yep.
And that's what was funny. When I saw the toilet, I said, what bathroom? Where's the bathroom?
Right.
It doesn't really look, I don't know. It looks just like a tube.
It looks like a bedpan.
Right.
It is no bigger than the seat that you would sit on. Depth wise?
Yeah.
I don't know that you're able to store much in there. Like if everyone took a dump once, that thing's overflowing.
It's already done.
Overflowing.
It's game.
Done.
And that's what's funny is, it's built for a quick trip down to the old Titan.
Yeah.
And I would suck to be the guy who had to take a dump when you got down there. Hope they didn't eat any sushi. Just fucking, 30 minutes in. Oh, guys, I'm sorry. I gotta do this. You know. The fact that this is what's a red flag already. There's three other vessels that can get down to that depth. Is that what you said?
That's what I've read or heard.
Yeah. So then why would there be 4 that's the size of a minivan? 1 that's the size of a minivan that can just go down and like that's already so bad.
And there's obviously waivers that these people had to sign.
I heard, did you see that? I saw that, they were interviewing one of the guys beforehand and he quite mentioned the waiver that basically just said, hey,
yep,
this is on you.
Yeah. This is your choice.
Yeah.
Could be death, injury, all that good stuff. It's typically on a waiver. Also, each person paid $250,000 a piece for a ticket on this disaster ride.
Right.
You couldn't pay me the cumulative amount of everyone's ticket to sit in that thing and go down there. No, sir. A mil? They said, here's a mil. You're going to go down 13,000 feet tour the Titanic and come back up. Nah.
Good.
I'm good.
No,
I'd rather live on the street, actually, where there's air.
Yeah, that's never going to happen.
No.
On the street.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
I'll do skydiving before I do that.
Yeah, I probably would too.
I would skydive every day for a year before I do Titanic.
Yeah.
And I'm not a big on the skydiving. But I would,
not at all.
Yeah.
So that's $250,000, man.
Too much.
$250,000. These men paid for a ticket with what most people won't even see in their lives.
Right.
To go down and.
So the other issue here is kind of to what you're saying. The whole point, anyways, is to see the Titanic. But there's one tiny window.
Yep.
By the shitter.
Yeah.
So you're just in this tiny cramped thing swimming around the Titanic. How are you even climbing over each other to get a view if you wanted to? Like it literally, there's nothing that is like giving you this kind of access.
Yeah.
That's worth anything. You're paying like so much money to just sit and know that you're swimming around the Titanic.
Right.
I guess that's rich guy shit. I don't know.
I suppose.
Yeah.
For the price of an okay house in Albuquerque, you can look through a tiny peephole at the Titanic. The other thing is they had the screens.
Yeah.
So I guess if you can't look out the window, you can look at the screens. If your option is to look at the screens, do it at home.
Just do it at home.
They have so much footage.
Yeah.
Of the sunken Titanic ship. Fucking James Cameron went down there not too long ago to film it and explore it.
Right.
Just watch his shit for free on your couch where you can breathe, you can snack, you can take a dump in a, private quarters.
Yeah.
in something bigger than like a cereal bowl.
Yeah.
You know, like
it's true.
It's wild.
I can watch the Titanic right now.
You can. My grandma had it. 2 VHSs. Because that movie's so long.
That, and that was monumental.
Yeah.
Shout outs to James Cameron.
Yeah, I mean, he's still doing it.
He's still doing it. He's still making top 5 grossing all time fucking movies. No, these guys, and they were like billionaires. Mm-hmm. I gotta ask you, have you heard about one of the people who were in the submarine? Have you heard about his stepson?
Yes.
Now this is fun, isn't it?
This is great. Right. So we have the story.
Yeah.
And then there's all these little like threads.
These morsels.
Which the stepson thing potentially leads into one of the conspiracy theories, right?
Ooh.
But
oh yeah, the conspiracies.
But yeah, tell us about the stepson, because that's so interesting.
This fucking guy has been trying. It appears as if he was trying to leverage his stepfather being in a submarine 14,000 almost fucking feet underwater.
Yeah.
Potentially crushed fucking bones and all. This guy was like continuously tweeting that his stepdad is trapped in the submarine.
Yep.
He needs like thoughts and prayers, and that even though this is happening, he's gonna go to the fucking Blink-182 concert.
And I quote, "My family would want me to go to this Blink-182 concert."
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like it was clear as day that he was trying to leverage this into a meet and greet. Mm-hmm. He wanted like Travis Barker to like take a picture with him and like fucking give condolences.
Something.
This guy was literally like taking pictures of himself at the Blink-182 concert, telling everyone thoughts and prayers, making sure everyone knew his stepdad was underwater.
Did you say son or stepson?
A stepson, right?
That's
what I thought.
That's an important thing.
Yeah.
Like stepson.
Right.
Not even blood. So there's that. I mean, that guy was probably there like with his phone, like, ha. Right. Dad's lost at sea. I'm lost in a sea of people at Blink-182.
He was doing that.
Shout out, Dad would want this. That's what it seemed like for sure.
I wonder what he's up to today. I wonder what he's got going on.
Yeah,
today.
If he's like, the oxygen ran out? Damn. Bet those funds just hit my account.
Oh, I bet. He was probably, okay. And that, yeah, like you said, that probably, is that part of the conspiracy?
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I mean, very creative way to do it.
He's like, no, you go.
Yeah. He's like, I'll pay for you.
Yeah.
I'll pay for you to do it.
He's like, no, you got to do this.
Yeah.
This is definitely going to work.
He's like, you'll make history as one of the first people to dive down in this exploration sub.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that guy's just a real piece of work,
It's very, it's wild. Like, you can't write this shit.
No.
Like you could, but I think people would look at that and be like, that's a poorly written TV show.
Right.
Like, no, this is real life now.
Right. And they'd say like, that's a boring character.
Yeah.
But like he's a real guy.
Like the stepson who's a douche at the concert and you know, was like thoughts and prayers.
Real person.
It's a real person.
Who exists.
This is not some trashy Netflix show.
No.
This is real life. Somehow.
Unironically, he exists.
Should also mention, I just remembered a detail about the submarine. The only way in and out is to be bolted in from the outside.
Oh, stop.
Right?
No.
So a lot of people who were saying that even if they... yeah, right? Like you're in there. You're done. It is a sealed coffin at that point. Bolted in from the outside. That's the only way.
It's a horrific detail indeed.
And it just makes you feel that much more like I'm already out of air before I even went underwater. Just thinking about that.
I guess like, do rich people not have anxiety? I couldn't even, my anxiety could never.
Right?
Could never.
They're like, oh, money will just get rid of the anxiety.
They could have told me that ahead of time. I would have said, so how does this thing work? And they would have said, well, we got to bolt you in from the outside. Nope. Thank you very much, sir. Have a good day. Thank you for your time.
Yeah. Kindly fuck off. I will see you never.
We'll do something else.
Yeah.
We'll do something else. I don't give a fuck. We'll go on a European tram.
Yeah.
And we'll overlook the valley.
Even the tram. Let's just stop there for a second. You ever ridden the tram here?
I was thinking about going this weekend.
Were you?
I've done it multiple times. Yeah.
Okay, so even the tram is kind of like, ooh. One time, I might have told this story, but one time I got stuck on the tram mid-flight, mid-trip. It's just power shut off and the whole thing went swinging. And it was pretty packed, and so everyone was like, whoa, and falling into each other, and we're swinging back and forth.
Fuck.
That was awful.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm going anymore.
You're like, trip canceled. So, yeah, bolted in from the outside. So a lot of people that were saying, like, rescue is pretty much impossible for a number of reasons. And that was one of them, is that, like, even if they found them.
Yeah.
Let's say that the theory is that they potentially got stuck somehow in or under the Titanic.
Ugh.
So even if they found them, how do you dislodge them from their position? Number 2, how do you bring them back up? Number 3, you obviously can't just like shoot up because then your brains will fucking explode from something called the spins.
Ooh.
You cannot ascend from deep ocean very fast. You have to do it super, super slow. Otherwise, you get the spins and you die.
Yeah.
What am I on, 4?
Yeah, I believe we're on a good 4.
Even if that submarine somehow was able by itself to get up to the surface, from what I understand, it didn't have any inflatable like raft thing to keep it up. And 2, even if they got to the surface, they can't get out. Right. They have to still wait for someone to rescue them, get them, and then unbolt like 17 bolts to open the chamber. So there's a good chance that even if they were cutting it close with oxygen, let's say they made it back to the surface, they can't even celebrate because they're like, fuck, we still got to wait here until someone comes to get us.
Right. They're not even in the clear yet.
No.
And that would be another thing. Hell, they could be on the surface in the middle of the Atlantic. I don't know what fucking ocean they were in.
Neither.
But the Atlantic sounds good.
They
could be
somewhere. They might not even be in the deep sea.
They might not.
They could just be floating near the surface somewhere.
It's just it's baffling to me to put yourself through levels of insanity. Like just being bolted, even if you came up to me and you said, "Hey, you know what would be crazy? Let's do this. And it's not going underwater, but let's bolt ourselves into something."
No.
And do a podcast from bolted inside of a thing. I'd be like, no, we can't do that. Yeah. We can't bolt ourselves inside of something because then someone could go, I'm not going to open it now.
Yeah. Good luck breathing.
So that's already nuts. But then to do that and then ascend into or descend into the deep, deep ocean. There's levels to this shit.
Literal levels. And yeah, it makes me sick. Someone was describing what those people are potentially or were potentially going through. You got to think about that. The moment that you realize something's wrong, and now what? You can't. Right. There's not even enough room to stand up. Right. Can you imagine having a full-blown panic attack, but you have to do it in the seat that you're sitting in right there? That amount of space? That's how much wiggle room you have.
Right.
I'm having a full-blown existential crisis. I'm probably panic, sweating, hyperventilating, using up tons of oxygen already.
Right.
In this little space because I can't even spread my legs out. Ooh, man.
So, and then, another detail was the fact that when they're doing their search or doing whatever they could to try and find, they were potentially hearing banging.
Yes.
Boom, 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 boom.
I believe Tuesday, some banging was heard.
Yeah. that itself is just.
Ugh. Doesn't it make you feel a little sick? Like, it's like a hopeful thing because it's like, oh, they're still alive down there. There's a chance. But it's also kind of like, ugh. And so, yeah, they were either knocking up against the Titanic or whatever, or what they were saying is someone inside knew, like, they're going to be searching for us. They're going to be looking for sounds. So they were banging potentially in Morse code in like 30-minute intervals.
Yes. And that's, I don't know. I guess like so like you said, what they could potentially be going through, you know, a panic attack in an enclosed space, deep underwater. You know, someone sensible is like, no, like they'll look for us. We've got money.
So I don't like thinking about it too much either because God bless. But so someone was talking about almost like the stages, you know, the 7 or whatever it is, stages of grief.
Right.
That you go through. So imagine that. Imagine what these people were going through in waves, you know, of panic. And they were saying, like, as oxygen starts to run out, these people are probably getting headaches first. Then they're probably starting to vomit.
Right. Oh.
Then, you know, starting to like go a little bit delusional.
Sure.
Having hallucinations even. So now, not only that, but the air is getting thicker and thicker as people are just crammed in this space, breathing each other's air, reeks of BO, sweat, vomit, shit from the little bedpan toilet in the window shitter. All of that is circulating in the midst of you panicking, trying to stay alive. But also, this was only meant to be a couple hours, few hours of a trip. So I don't know how much water or food they had. So they might be experiencing extreme hunger.
Right.
Because they've been lost for like 5 days.
Right.
Dehydration, which is a lot. Someone pointed out the irony that they're dehydrated and surrounded by water. But it's true.
It's true.
It's gotta hand it to you know, this period in time where even the most serious and depressing of things can be turned into memes
Every day.
The memes
matter.
are insane. Some people posted, like, you know, that end scene in Titanic where she dies and she's walking through the Titanic and everyone who died is there and just like welcoming her. Yeah, they posted that. They were like, oh, the billionaires when they wake up. And
it's like those memes I've been seeing like joking about someone dying, and it's like when you wake up, it's like someone sitting courtside at a Kobe Bryant basketball game.
Yeah.
And it's like you waking up in heaven, you're just watching Kobe play a game of ball.
Can you imagine that's the moment of realization for you?
Yeah.
It's like, you know how when you dream, you don't realize you're in a dream, you're just boom, you're there.
Right.
And then, so can you imagine, like, you don't realize you've died.
Yeah.
You have no clue. And you're courtside at a Lakers game. And you're just thinking like, oh man, yeah, I made it. What's up, guys? Hey. And then you see Kobe playing.
Yeah.
And at first you're like, Kobe. And then you're like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
What? That can't be. What? And then you turn to the person next to you. Wait, what year is it? What's going on? Am I dreaming? And then they're like, everyone stops playing and the audience goes completely silent. And all the players stop and you just hear the faint sound of the ball, like, and then they all turn to you and they go, welcome home.
This is why you're gonna do great things.
Oh, thanks.
You know how to paint a picture. That terrifies me.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that's probably what they went through.
Right.
The descent into madness, suffering. Oh, and then also it's freezing down there. So if they lost power, they're probably actually, and this sounds way better to me than suffocating to death. They probably froze to death before.
Right.
Which would be way better because you fall asleep first when you're freezing to death and then you just die.
You hope that's the way.
Yeah. Way
hope
less,
there was no shit.
Much more humane.
Yeah. No puke.
Yeah. Yeah. None of that other stuff. Oh.
Yeah. That's definitely the best way if there was any way. We hope that was the way. We really hope they didn't have to go through too much. That's what you hope for.
Yeah.
You know, you hope that it just kind of happens quick. So what are these conspiracy theories?
So one of the conspiracies is that they did this to fake their death, these billionaires.
That would be so sick.
Yeah, right?
That would be sick. It sucks if we'll never know if that's what it is.
Right.
Because the whole point is that they're supposed to be pretending to be dead. There's been a lot of stuff about faking death lately. It's kind of interesting. There was that person who faked their death to teach their family a lesson. Did you hear about this?
No.
It's the most petty thing in the world. They fake their death. The funeral's happening, and then they show up, and they're basically like, "You should call me more." Like,
whoa, it's a little extreme.
You should be calling me more. This is this is what you get for not reaching out and checking in.
Wow.
So there's something in the air with the whole faking death thing. I really could buy into that, and we hope that's what happened.
Yeah, right. Like, and there hasn't been too many details about, like, other than that these people are billionaires and millionaires. There hasn't been too many details about who they are as a person.
Right.
So I don't know. Like, I can't say like, oh, this person had some stuff going on, so they for sure would likely fake their death. Don't know.
We don't know.
I'm sure that's the kind of stuff that will start coming out.
Sure.
And in fact, it's been 100 years plus since the Titanic happened, and people are still talking about it and conspiracies and, you know, all that. I'm sure this will be the same thing.
It will.
100 years from now, they'll still be going, oh yeah, did you know that someone actually took out a, $10 billion loan right before that submarine went down so they could collect on it,
Or they'll be like, we saw a guy who looked like that guy. In Brazil.
Yep.
Like Tupac,
Yeah, exactly.
They say they see Tupac in like
Michael Jackson.
South America.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Cuba, that's the place where everyone says they always go. So yeah, that was one of the theories.
I like that one. That one's not even like that too crazy.
It's not crazy at all. It's not super crazy. Like, I could buy it.
Yeah, I could buy it.
Why? Not sure why they would fake their own death, but there you go.
Yeah.
There's there's a conspiracy about like foul play. Like someone set this up to kill them. Who? Not sure.
Sure.
We don't know. And then there's a crazy one that maybe the Titanic thing, like, oh, we're gonna go look at the Titanic, was just a ruse. What if they were taken somewhere even more blacklisted, if you will, or not blacklisted, like redacted,
right?
Super secretive,
right? Like
they're exploring like Atlantis or something. Like,
sure,
you know what I mean? Like, you can't just be like, oh, we're gonna go explore. You know what I mean? Like, Titanic. Somewhere that normal people can't just go. Like, hey, you go here. This is super secretive. This is like, you're signing your life away. You can't talk about this. Say you're going to go look at the Titanic. You disappear and you go to this other place.
This other, well, not land, but
something. I mean, we don't know.
We don't know.
I don't
like
know.
The inner Earth. There's like
inner
that
Earth
thing.
Yeah, right. Go through like a portal.
Yeah. I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna Redband exclusive.
Ooh, okay.
I got a new conspiracy theory. I think that there's a couple of different ways to approach this. The simplest way is just to say that the spirits of the dead of the Titanic don't want you to go hang out with them.
No.
I could see that the spirits of the dead of the Titanic potentially made sure that things didn't work out.
Yeah.
Then there could be a few different reasons too. I could see, I could imagine James Cameron. Obviously, you watch Avatar and you see that he's a very spiritual man.
Yeah. I
could see James Cameron doing what he needs to do to respect the dead of the Titanic. There's a reason that he went down there, and it was, I think it was in good faith, you know? And I think the spirits of the dead of the Titanic are probably like, hey, we fucks with James Cameron. He's going to tell our story. He's telling our story. Mm-hmm. I think, you know, especially the spirits of the dead of the Titanic, who were the workers.
Oh, yeah.
Who were the people who got the shit end of the stick, who had to kiss the rings of these rich people right before they all fucking perished in the ocean.
Yeah.
I could see them being like, hey, fuck these guys.
Yeah, right.
Let's do a little trick. And it's not really a little trick because it's death.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go with new conspiracy theory. I think the dead are restless down there.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't think they want you to go fucking poking around.
No, not at all.
Yeah, so that's new theory. Let's add that to the list.
I like that. I did see something similar.
Okay.
Where someone said like, you know, the people who died on that ship, most of them were like poor.
Yeah.
And here comes 5 billionaires / millionaires poking around, just looking at, you know.
Right.
They might have got a little upset at that.
I think so.
Like, hey, your kind made it off the ship, and now you're intentionally coming down to our space?
Right.
Yeah, someone said that.
That's true, too, right? Because that makes sense. Because, I mean, we've seen the movie.
Yeah.
You know, people are pushing people out of the way to get to, you know, the ships.
Yeah.
The escape pods.
Yeah, the escape pods.
So, yeah, I mean, yeah, like, you know, I think it's just, we shouldn't do that. That's like, to me, that's like Pet Cemetery or fucking, you know, Native American burial ground.
Right. Yeah.
Bad omen.
Just let it lie.
Let it be.
When something has sunk that deep in the ocean, it's telling you, leave me the fuck alone.
Absolutely.
I'm literally at one of potentially the deepest point on this earth.
Right.
Go away.
Right.
Why are you coming down here? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We don't want you here. Mm-hmm. Get out of here. The only person who's allowed down here, his name is James Cameron. Thank you very much.
We have accepted him as one of our own.
I believe it.
He's all right. He can come to the barbecue.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And James Cameron will be seen very favorably when he passes on himself. Mm-hmm. He will have a seat courtside at the Lakers game.
Yeah. Exactly.
He'll be right there.
Yeah. I've been astonished at the amount of people who are like, I'm glad those billionaires are dying a horrible death down there. And it's like, damn, I know a lot of people hate the rich.
Yeah, yeah.
I understand that. But like, fucking hell.
It's not like you're getting any of the money.
Right. Like, why are you happy?
I understand if you're on the will, you're going, this isn't great.
Yeah.
But something's coming out of this.
Like the son, the Blink-182 concert goer.
He's
loving it right now.
Now, I do want him to find out that he was never put on the will.
Yeah, yeah.
I want him to go, all right, let's do this. And then...
Yeah.
So, I'm going to err on the side of, you know... I'm going to err on the side of people not celebrating death.
Mm-hmm. It's like you said, I wouldn't even wish this on my worst enemy.
Fuck no.
Like, damn, that's fucked. That's fucked.
This is torture.
It's literal hell. Like you were descending into like, that's like the 8th ring of hell.
Yeah.
It was just a very dumb decision.
Yeah.
I think. Like all the red flags were there, right?
Yeah.
We very much live in a society now that talks about red flag this, red flag that. Those billionaires ignored every single one of them.
Every single.
Like damn, the CO2 scrubbers. Have you heard about these? Mm-mm. So CO2 scrubbers, I say it like if it's like a conspiracy. You've heard about the CO2 scrubbers. The CO2 scrubbers are basically this thing that like when you're breathing in a confined space, the air gets thicker and thicker and it builds up. CO2 scrubbers help filter that out.
Okay.
So you're not just breathing hot air.
Constant.
It gets the CO2 out.
Okay.
So that way clean new oxygen can come in. So they were saying like every single submarine like has one of those.
Yeah.
But an expert in their field was looking at the videos of the person giving the tour of the submarine, and they were like, I don't even see a space where that would go.
Wow.
Which leads them to believe that there might not have even been a CO2 scrubber on there, which means that air got thick probably pretty quick.
Right.
So they might have had even less breathable oxygen sooner than we anticipated.
And is there a chance they might have died from that first?
Potentially.
Yeah.
There's the implosion theory, which is that the moment when they lost communication meant that there was a malfunction in the submarine and the whole thing just imploded like a soda can being crushed.
Right.
That's next to freezing to death. That would probably be the next best option because it's quick.
It's a quickie.
Quick and you're done.
Yeah.
You know? But I think the banging that they were hearing kind of put that theory to like cancel that out.
Right.
Just because it's like, oh, they're still alive down there making noise. If that's them.
Unless they find them and it's just like this crumpled up van.
Yeah, right.
Just dinging against the side of the Titanic. Just ding, ding.
Ding. Yeah.
It's just like, oh yeah. There's just like an eyeball floating around.
Oh.
These guys are goners.
Oh man. Can you imagine if it was the ghost of the Titanic making the ding just to fuck with us up
Just
here?
to fuck with us.
Mm.
They don't want to be disturbed, guys.
They really, really don't. And rightfully so, they don't want to. But so that's crazy, man, that this like off-brand. By the way, the company is called Oceangate. Right there. Hello?
You couldn't, yeah.
That's why I feel like that's why conspiracies are coming forward. It's almost like these people are like too obvious.
Right.
Oh, we're going to call it Oceangate?
Right.
Oh, it's this little thing with a game controller.
Right.
$30 gaming controller. Oh, you got to be bolted in from the outside. Like, it's just too many things that you would obviously say no to.
Absolutely.
Let alone pay $250,000 to do it.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too good to be true. Either these are the dumbest billionaires in the world,
Right.
or there was something ulterior.
Mm-hmm.
We almost hope it's something ulterior,
Right.
just to say, you know, they got their 15 minutes of fame.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they're in like, they went through, like you said, like maybe like a portal that took them to fucking Narnia.
Right.
And they fucking live the rest of their days out there, you know?
Right. And of course, then lastly, then you have the group of people who say like, oh, this is just a distraction. Get a look at what, and I mean,
Could be.
kind of.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen that to be kind of true more and
Right.
more in history is like big events tend to happen when other big events that they don't want you to hear about go on.
Absolutely.
So yeah, there was a bunch of people too just saying like, let's look at what they don't want you to know is going on right now.
Sure.
Which I don't know. I
I'm
don't know
not
what
sure
else.
what-
I don't know
yeah.
what's going on right now, which is the mission accomplished.
Right. Right.
We're so focused on this for the past 5 days. Who knows what they were doing? It's usually like pay attention to the laws that are being passed while you're
Sure.
paying attention to this or whatever else is going on.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I guess it's just that it's hot as fuck outside. Maybe
it's pretty warm.
they don't want you to know that like Texas is like on fire.
Yeah.
I don't know. Not much else going on. Not much going on right now
I don't know.
Besides
right,
this.
that we know of.
that we know of.
There's been a lot more UFO shit coming out though.
Oh shit, there has, huh? Okay,
There's been
maybe
a lot.
that's it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's it.
Maybe.
People are definitely getting a little too okay.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Yeah, the recent one in Las Vegas?
Las Vegas,
Where it
I
was like
think.
caught on the police's lapel cam
Yeah.
and it's like falling and then the 911 call about the
Yeah.
9-foot being in their backyard.
Okay.
Because that was really hot for a second and so then this happens.
Yeah, that's been completely okay.
Yeah. Who knows?
I could dig that idea. I get okay.
Yeah.
Now I'm like now I'm on.
I
Now
think
I'm on to them.
think it might be about time to have Tyler back on the show.
I think you might.
Stone Conspiracies 3.
I think we're getting there.
There's been a lot more real world shit that love to hear his perspective on.
Absolutely. I think it's time to get some kind of like where we're at now stuff. Mm-hmm. We've talked a lot of conspiracy theories, just general, just kind of ideas. I think now it's time to go like, hey, where are we at right now? Mm-hmm. What are we getting into now?
What are we doing? Yeah.
I think it's time.
I definitely think it's time. So that's it's called Titan, Oceangate. The name of the sub is called Titan or something like that. That's what happened with that. Now, when you're hearing this, there could very well be many more updates. Right. Maybe when we record next, we could pop in if there are some new developments and like add on to this episode. But as of right now, it's what it is. That's what we know. They ran out of oxygen. Probably most likely dead.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
99.7% sure.
You got to wonder if anyone down there, like if they started trying to kill each other. Right. Like, hey, if there's less of you breathing, I can have more oxygen. Right. That kind of seems like a billionaire thing to do.
Yeah. And maybe I would have done it just to, for fun, just to know like what it's like before I die. Like, hey, we're dying anyways. Does anyone want to volunteer?
Yeah, right.
Before I just do this.
Like, can you imagine they all just beat the ever living shit out of that CEO?
Right. And that I could see.
You
know what? I could see that. I could be like, are you fucking kidding me? You know what? Let's fucking strangle him with the PlayStation controller.
Yeah.
and do it and just, one less pair of lungs.
Yeah, right.
Breathe in the air.
Mm-hmm. Buy yourself a day. Maybe. Wild shit, man.
Crazy, man.
Well, I definitely want to know from the listeners what you all think.
Yeah.
About this. I mean, what would you do? You can't do anything. You're in that situation.
Nope.
But yeah, I want to hear your thoughts, what you think. If you think it's just like damn, that was a stupid thing. If you think it's a conspiracy, if you think they faked their deaths, if you think that was just a really stupid decision that led to a really shitty outcome for them all. Yeah. If you think they imploded, if you think they suffocated to death, froze to death. Oh, so many. Ooh.
Too many.
It's all very grim. It's so grim. But at the same time, I was captivated. Absolutely. I really was.
And this is a new one. There's never been one like this.
Not that I know. Not that I can. I mean, the last time that I kind of did this was with Damar Hamlin.
Sure.
The football player who collapsed on the field in mid-game.
Yeah.
I was checking constantly for updates on him.
Right.
But, other than that,
this is fresh. Like there, a lot of stories have captivated, whatever the fuck.
Captivated?
Captivated. Oh, my brain.
Yeah.
The Nation.
Mm-hmm.
Many a story.
Many.
None like this.
Not in a hot minute.
Not in a hot minute. Like none that involve deep sea bullshit.
True. Like there's never been a deep sea thing that I can think of.
So.
Other than Titanic, but that wasn't deep sea.
Yeah.
It became deep sea, but
John Benet Ramsey or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Is that her name?
Yeah, I think something like that.
That captivates us.
Yeah.
But
deep sea.
Usually it's like a kidnapping or a fucking, what's her name? The white girl with the fucking, she had a YouTube channel and her boyfriend killed her and then killed himself. That was not that. That was Gabby Petito.
Oh, I never knew too much about that.
Yeah.
I was definitely not in. I didn't even know that was going on. I was not in on that one.
It's like usually it's stuff like that. It's like, oh, this girl's missing and her boyfriend. Her boyfriend rode back into town on a horse without her. He probably fucking killed her.
Yeah.
But never the deep sea.
No, never. And the deep sea and I don't know where else I was going with that. I had a thought and then I forgot it. The deep sea took it.
Yeah.
The deep sea took my thoughts.
And that's okay?
Yeah.
It's about that time.
Yeah, I think so.
It's unfortunate, but the more I talk about this, the more my heart rate goes up.
The more I feel panicked.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah.
I don't like it very much.
I can't think about it anymore.
No, I can't. So, listeners, let us know what you thought.
Yeah.
And what you think about this. It was fucking wild. I mean, we've never experienced anything like this.
Yep.
To this level, like the deep sea stuff. If you thought 47 meters down was bad, this is real life, and that's like 100,000 times worse.
Oh.
So like, subscribe, share, message us. We want to hear back from you. So until next week, when we hopefully actually talk about the Netflix subscription thing.
We'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there.
We're trying to figure it out for ourselves so we don't get fined.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. So unless another big major event happens where it takes the place of that, we'll see you all next week.